Using the shimmer, we can continually craft and decraft our accessories for optimum modifier of warding. Today's a day with a bunch of stink bugs, and it's very convenient to catch a bunch of these when we can. Using this and a platinum or gold broadsword, we can make the fly meal in honey, which will allow us to easily kill NPCs to get all the graves that we need. Additionally, now that the Dryad is moved in because we've killed a boss, it's a convenient time to start setting up an area to make plants and get a bunch of bush making materials. Here I'm going to hoik some platforms in order to safely farm the hornets for bezoars. I've set up an arena here with a heart lantern, campfire, bass statue, and sunflower for the movement, speed, and defense buffs, and I'm ready to fight the Brain of Cthulhu. Press B to activate all of my buffs, and I'm using a blade of grass for this fight. I like to have my platforms far enough apart that I have good space to jump between them and not land on the other one, making use of my grappling hook and the accelerated speed of letting that go. The Brain of Cthulhu defeated, I'm going to make a Deathbringer pickaxe, and next up is getting a bunch of Hellstone. If you're bad like I am and about to die, push down that instinct to just push through it and try to win, and just recall and try again later. Be extra sure that you're ready before you start fights that you can't escape, like Queen Bee, Wall of Flesh, and Moonlord. I changed up my arena by adding this N-shaped solid block structure in order to make the skull shooting phase more safe. In the dungeon, we want to grab some water candles, as well as the mechanic, and the witching table, as well as the alchemy table. The Muramasa and Cobalt Shield would also be great to get from the chests, and once we have all of those things, we can just go ahead and do it. Cursed skulls can inflict the curse debuff, which makes it so you can't use your items, so definitely be careful when they show up. I'm going to make myself a Knight's Edge, as well as a Void Bag. With the mechanic, we now want to make sure that we have the grand plan, or the grand design, and we want to never take this out of print. An easy duplication glitch in Terraria is if you have your world in multiplayer, you grab 2 teleporters, angel statue, you can throw the angel statue in the shimmer and it becomes a monolith. You place 2 teleporters down, place the monolith on top, break the bottom teleporter, now this is floating, and we can keep right clicking it to duplicate the monolith. Then we can sell this for a bunch of money. The Old One's Army event gets harder in hard mode and adds new content after the first mech boss is defeated. After the first mech boss is defeated, it also adds an armor set with very high armor values that I like to have. So prior to entering hard mode, I make up this Old One's Army arena and I farm for 45 different Defender's medals. You can go to 60 Defender's medals in order to get the upgraded staff, but 45 is enough for the armor. These walls in my arena are 120 blocks away, and I link it up with geysers to a timer in order to help kill all of the enemies. Another thing I do prior to entering hard mode is create this little farm with jungle grass blocks and 2 blocks of height above it, so that after the first mech boss is defeated, a bunch of life fruit can spawn in here and be safely farmed without having to walk around the underground jungle. Having a mob farm in the cavern lair is probably one of the most helpful things you can do prior to entering hard mode. In early hard mode, we're going to be able to use this to farm for easy weapons, as well as materials, fishing spots, and you can farm for the Rod of Discord. Anything that you need to farm in hard mode with enemies in the cavern lair, you can do easily with this farm, and quite safely. With 1500 desert blocks, you can make it an underground desert, which increases the spawn rates. With 1500 ice blocks, you can make it an underground snow, which will give you the icicle in early hard mode, as well as being able to farm for flinks fur or for snow launchers in order to help out with the Old One's Army. The spawning requirements and the things that you need to know in order to make this farm is that enemies in Terraria spawn off your screen. So make sure that the edges of this farm are away from your screen and fill the bottom of the farm with lava. Another thing to consider prior to entering hard mode is to create a teleportation network through your dungeon to all the different biome chests. So for mine, I have the desert, ice, crimson, jungle, and hollow. On my hell bridge for the Wall of Flesh fight, I like to have sunflowers, peace candles, and campfires placed every so often. that, the Wild Flesh is defeated, and we've entered hard mode.